Yep. Today is November 16th. Game number, I'm not sure what it is, but it's Stormhawks versus the Hastings Raiders. Raiders in dark, Stormhawks in white. Face-off just happened. Break gets it over to Thorpe. Thorpe goes far side to Blake Van. Blake Van's coming in. He goes wide. Picked up by Olin Van, who rings it along the boards. Kept in by Thorpe. Thorpe still doesn't have his jersey at this point, which is amazing. Gets to Thorpe. Thorpe's going to come in. He's got to keep on the gas, go low. Thunder kind of got interfered with in the front. Little body check out of the corner. Tried to get that shot, nothing there. It's going to be icing unless it's on net. I'd rather have him stay in the net and block that. You watch a ice chunk or something to hit that sucker. Arnold in net. He's got his own style. Nickel at face-off along with Heinz and Brandt. Lindell at D along with Dreyer. Push down low, rung around the boards. It kicks out. Hastings going to have a race to the puck. It's going to be Crosby comes out, swoops it away with the stick. And Nickel has it. Around the net he goes to Brandt. He gets it back up to Nickel. It's out of the zone. And back to regroup is the Stormhawks. Inside the zone, push behind the net. Lindell is there. Lindell to Brandt, over to Nickel. Nickel go wide. Oh, he cut back to the middle, lost it. Dreyer on the board. Try to kind of cycle it. Little weak. Nickel has it. Over to Hines. Hines going to chip it out. Doesn't leave the zone. Shot wide. It's going to be pushed out. And that would have been a good time for a shift change. Lindell's going to play it at the point. Into the zone. Over to Thorpe. Brandt tips it and goes down. He tipped it. And they were looking for icing. They waved it up. And they're going to call a hand pass and move it outside the zone of Hastings. 12:49 of the first. 0-0. Shots not being recorded, or we don't have any shots yet? Okay, no shots yet. Nutter, Clava, and McNabb. McNabb's back from his illness. Abin gets it at D, kicks it to the side. He's ridden into the boards. Nice little body check by that little guy. Comes through. Clava's going to knock it up. Behind the net, Hastings goes. Their net, in their zone. McNabb's going to be there, pinch it along the boards. Out to the point, held in by Zeltwinger. And he dumps it low. Nutter's the first one to get it. He loses it on the boards. And there's a little bit of a battle picked up by McNabb. McNabb into the slot. Shot. Rebound right there. And the Hastings goalie covers up at 12:10 of the first period. Face off to the blocker side of the Hastings goalie. Clava on the draw. Draw is kicked back, but kept in. And now it bounces out, and Hastings gains control. Clava rides him off. Hastings comes in, shoots, stick checked into the corner. Abin's there. Behind the net he goes. He gets it to McNabb. McNabb's going to get it to Nutter. Nutter's got a little speed, dumps it off the board, and takes it down low. He pushes it back, but right to the wing of the Hastings. Hastings hit their center, and they're coming out 1-on-2. And he dumps it down behind Arnold's net. Picked up by Break. Break gives it right to the Hastings guy. Comes right in on Arnold. Arnold makes a good stick sweep and save. Good opportunity for Hastings on a mistake. Gets it over to Hastings. Hastings shoots it wide again. Blake Van's in the corner. Down low to break. Break using his skate. Going to be picked up by Rotunda. Rotunda gets it to the wing. The wing's going to bank it off the boards. Rotunda's got a race for it. Can't quite beat the Hastings players. But now it's batted in by Owen Van, who's got an opportunity. He's swung around. He's got his brother in front along with Rotunda in the slot. Blake Van fans. It's going to come back to Dreyer at the point. Dreyer goes low. Push down low behind the net. Lindell's going to pinch. They talked about F3 being high. There was no F3 there. Again, on the board, Dreyer tries to get it. He loses it. And it's a one-on-one shot high of Arnold. Misses the net and comes out of the zone. It's going to be offsides on Hastings at 10:18 of the first period. At the Zamboni doors, there's some weird boards. It's bounced out a few times the last couple games. Center ice is the draw. Nickel, Heinz, and Brand out there along with Lindell and Dreyer at the point. Comes through. Dreyer gets it over to Lindell. Lindell tries to get through. Plays it along the boards. A little battle. He's still battling. It's two Hastings guys. He needs a little help. They center it out front. It's going to be hit by Brandt. Brandt's going to try and get it to Heinz. Skips up in the air. Going to be pushed through. Hastings gets it, brings it into the zone. Heinz is there to finish him off. Lindell's going to get it. He gets it up to Nickel. Nickel's got to go for that. And he's going to chase Hastings behind their net. Over to the boards. It's going to get kept in by Heinz. Down it goes. Behind the net. It's pushed up. Nichols has it. He's looking for someone. Back to the point. Avon has it over to break. Send it out front to Heinz. Avon's going to try and pinch. Push to the side. It goes. Off the boards, Hastings chips it out, gets it to the wing, and they're going to ice it down at 9:14 the first period. Good opportunity right there, and they got the shots on the board at 1-1 at this point. Face off to the glove side of the Hastings goalie. Batted ahead by Claybaugh, got it over to Nutter. Nutter just could not sweep it in. We've seen that play before. Hastings comes through. It's batted in the neutral zone where they regroup. And Hastings does a dump and chase. Played by Arnold behind the net. Stopped. Picked up by Zeltinger. Can't quite hit Claybaugh. He loses it. And it's going to be picked up by Nutter. And they got a 2-on-2 with the back checker of Hastings. Tries to get to Claybaugh. It's behind him. Claybaugh goes low to Nutter. Nutter behind the net. He gets pinched off. McNabb's there. Hastings going to push it out. Now they got a 2-on-2 with the Stormhawks, and then they just dump it in and go for a change. Thorpe looks, tries to get to Claybaugh. Oh, it's centered right out front. Hastings had it right on Arnold. Arnold makes a nice pad save. Bumped into the corner it goes. Little physical contact. Nutter has it. He gets it stripped. Going to be played by McNabb on his side. He's going to try and chip it out. They can't get it out of the zone. It's played down deep. The Dreyer's going to get it. McNabb's got time. He looks. He tried to get it to Claybaugh, and he loses it. And they go for a switch. Hastings got a little bit of time. Oh, and they just dumped it in. They lost an opportunity there. Arnold being very aggressive in net with his stick. Dreyer has it. He tries to center it. He does get it through to Blake Van. Blake Van goes wide. Pinches along the boards. Still has control. Goes low. Misses his brother. Hastings tries to dump it out. They do get it out into the neutral zone. Hastings lays a nice hit on Zeltinger. Coach Abbott didn't like that one. I didn't see what was the issue. Might have had his hands up high. Hastings tries to center it, and they're going to lose the zone and back out to regroup in center ice. Shot on Arnold. He leaves the rebound right out in front. Hastings off the side of the net. Blake fan gets it to Rotunda. Rotunda can't quite get it out. Now it's chipped out. Hastings is kind of clumped right now. Pushed away by Owen Van. Lindell gets it. Stepped up. And the Stormhawks are going to regroup. Thorpe has it. He's going to set up in the corner. He goes far side. It's behind Nickel. Brandt's going to pick it up, gets it to Van. Van's got Nickel. And he loses it. They don't even enter the zone. Brandt's going to ride. Comes through, takes the guy down. Evans there. Banks it off the boards. It's not going to leave the zone. Hastings keeps it in. The winger, and Hastings likes to play low, it looks like. Low and work from the corners. Picked up by Hines. He can't quite get it out. It does come out of the zone as Hastings regroups at center ice, and it's going to be an icing at 5:36 of the first period. Shots on net, 4 for Hastings, 1 for the Stormhawks. Face off to the blocker side of the Hastings goalie. 5:36 remaining in the first. Draw is 1. Kick back to the point. Zeltinger gets there. Can't get it through. Puck is loose. Hastings hits the wing. They're going to break it out. They get it to their center. He comes down. Evans there. Oh, he's able to come through. And big collision by Hines and Avon and Brandt. All 3 of them were there. And that took out the net. And no bodies and no penalties at this point. But that was a big collision. And they're gonna, not sure what they're waiting on or if they're deciding where it goes, or I would assume it would be in the zone since he was forced by a Stormhawk player into the net. Face-off will be to the glove side of Arnold, inside the zone. Nickel is there. Nichols gets ousted from the center. Hines takes the draw. It's pushed up the boards. It's kicked again. Hines has got it. He's got one-on-one. He's got Brandt as well. It takes a shot, and he rails it over the glove side, far side. And that puts the Stormhawks up 1-0. Play started by getting blocked by Hines and Nichols, and Hines was able to turn on some jets, get out there, and get a it was almost a 1-on-0. He was ahead of the defenseman with the trailer, took the shot, and buried it. 5:08 puts the Stormhawks up 1-0 on 2 shots. Hines on the draw, gets it through. Nichols on the draw, gets it to Hines. Hines is bursting through. He's playing real physical. Hastings comes down, enters his own wide, takes a shot high of the net. Kicked in by the point. Hines is there to tie up that defenseman. Hines still has it. He's going to go try and go deep. Oh, it comes right out. Takes a bad freaking bounce on the board and popped right out as the goalie went behind the net. He left it wide open. Up to McNabb. McNabb dumps it in and he chases. Played along the board. It's going to be held in by Dreyer. Dreyer right on net, nice and low. No rebound given up and no one to cause any chaos, but there'll be a face-off in Hastings zone, glove side of the goalie at 4:26. Clava, McNabb, Nubber up there along with Lindell and Dreyer at the point. Push to the corner. Clava has it down low, tries to center it. Can't get it through to who he was going for. Held in by Nutter on the boards, off the glass. Puck is jumping around like a jumping bean. Over to Nutter, Nutter to Lindell. Lindell tries to skate it up a little bit. Played along the boards, and it's going to come back to the blue line, but McNabb's able to keep it in. Lindell's playing down low. Nutter has got his spot at D. Comes to the neutral zone with Dreyer. Hastings can't quite get it. Off the boards it goes and is chased into Hastings zone. Hastings regroups with their defense. Goes far side to the wing. And it's a 2-on-2, but Hastings kind of lost it in their skate. Shot on Arnold. Stick save and to the corner. Behind the net up to Nutter. Nutter sweeps in it, but it goes right on net. Nutter's down there as well. Comes through. Clava's going to get it. He's going to try and get it in, but is blocked by Hastings. Shot wide to Arnold. It comes back out into the neutral zone. Hastings going to hit the wing on the near boards. He drops it to 24. Evans there to get a piece of it. Olin Van pinched along the boards. Rotunda's there. Back to Olin Van, who's going to go to his brother Blake, who's got a little room, and he's just going to race for it. And he's going to get there before it's icing. He's tried to center it. No one was there for a tip-in. As Hastings breaks it out the other way. It's a 2-on-2. Poke checked away by Zeltinger and dumped into the zone. Thorpe's going to gather it. He gets a little pressure, gets it bumped away by Hastings. Played in the corner. Zeltinger's there. 2-on-2 battle. Blake Van tries to get it to his brother, but there's a race, and Olin Van's going to be able to get it. He gets through. He's got his brother trailing, unable to get the shot, but nice hustle there by Olin Van with Blake following. Blake's going to get it. He splits the D. He goes in alone. Takes a shot. Rebounds right there. Oh! Great opportunity with the rebound being knocked wide at 1:57. Good opportunity. Took the goalie out and the net out. But it will be a face-off inside the zone. I'm assuming glove side, maybe blocker side of the Hastings zone. 1:57 remaining. Oh, they're saying that we took the net out of the goalie himself. I thought there was a little bit of contact, so it's going to come outside the zone. Nicola's there, takes the draw, kicked by Hines. Hines going to get it over to Brandt. Brandt's going to bring it. Oh, he gets it stick checked and up into the netting. He needs to fire that puck a little sooner. 1:49, face-off will be inside the zone. Looks like glove side inside the zone. Nicolette center. Takes it, loses the draw. Hastings tries to ring it out, gets it to their wing. It comes through. Down into the Stormhawk zone. Dryer's there to provide some contact. Out in front it goes. Oh, he's wide out there. Nice save by Arnold. Picked up by Nickel. He's got Hines as well. And just the communication is not there. Opportunity. Hastings turns it around. They come through. Picked up by Hines. Hines dumps it behind the net. Picked up by Avon. Avon tries to play it out. Bothered by Hastings. Lindell's going to get it. Lindell's able to get a piece of it. He's able to skate it up. He's got Nickel with him, and it's going to be offsides. And at 58 seconds remaining in the first, it's the Stormhawks ahead by 1. Stormhawks in white, Hastings in blue and yellow. Outside the zone, Clava takes the draw, wins the draw back to the point, over to Abbott, up to McNabb. McNabb dumps it in, and it's a dump and chase game. It's gathered. Hastings is going to pick it up with the wing on the board, chip it outside the board, tries to get by Abbott. Unsuccessful. It's going to be picked up by Lindell, who's going to go behind the Stormhawks net. He loses it right out in front. Arnold tries to get it with his stick. He can't get it. McNabb's there on the boards. Hastings still has control. They dump it deep again. Hastings kind of bumping our guys around a little bit. Puck comes out, right out in front. Lindell is grabbed, no call. Gets it to McNabb. McNabb tries to bump it up to Nutter. Didn't have enough on that. And center ice picked up by McNabb. McNabb's going to try and dump it deep. And that's going to end the first period. Shots only 3-7 in favor of Hastings, but the score is 1-0. tries to get it into the zone. It is picked up, but it's going to be offsides on Hastings. 12:07 of the second period. Stormhawks are ahead 2-0. Face-off won by Hastings, controlled by their defense. Hits their center right in the slot. Puck's going to stay in the zone. Lindell can't clear it. Hastings comes in. He tries to center it. Oh, centers it right to Lindell. He had a guy in the slot. It's going to be chased. McNabb's going to go. Jab bumps him. Played by Hastings. Hastings comes out of the scrum with it. They go far side. Go for their wing for the home run. Unsuccessful. Picked up by Lindell. Lindell's got McNabb on this side. He just missed him. If he would have gotten it to him, McNabb would have been off to the races. Tipped by Nutter down into the zone. Hastings behind their net. Over to their wing. Tips it up to their center. It's behind them. Thorpe's going to pick it up and dump it in deep. Played down low. Physicality on the boards. Picked up by Rotunda. Pushed down low. Van has it. Tries to do some stick handling. Can't get it. Over to the other Van on the other side. Back to his brother. Shot. Didn't quite make it to the net. Backhand. Sitting out in front of the crease. Knocked away, and the net's going to be off due to the Hastings player driving Olin Van into the net. .10:43 of the second period. Stormhawks ahead 2-0. Shots in favor of Hastings, 9-6 at this point. Not a whole lot of shots in this game comparative to the last two. Rotunda at center wins the draw to the side, but it's intercepted by Hastings, and their defense tries to get it out by ringing it along the boards. It gets it up. It's a 2-on-2. So down to the boards. It's kicked out. Olin Van has it. Played by the wing. Zeltinger's there. Gets it to the wing. Hastings gets it back out to the point. Shot. Tipped wide. It goes into the corner. Back out to the point. Hastings controls and dumps it deep behind the net. Zeltinger has a battle. Hastings is there as well. Rotunda picks it up, banks off the boards, and they got to get it out. Skipped up high, swung it, and Hastings just going to dump it in deep. Arnold played it, should have left it. Comes off the boards, goofy. Comes to Olin Van, picked up by Dreyer. Dreyer's going to enter the zone. Dreyer's looking, goes cross ice. They were unable to get a shot. Body contact by Olin Van, pushed along the boards. Back to the point it goes. Thorpe takes one, goes far side to the corner. Olin Van has control, centers it. No one was there. It's going to come back up to the neutral zone. And it's going to be way offsides as Dreyer just got it and flung it into the zone at 9:13. Center ice draw for Nickel. Abbott and Zeltinger at the D. Draw comes through. Won by Hastings. Chased by Heinz. Off the boards it goes. Played by Abbott. Abbott and Brandt are there with the scrum. Puck is going through. Abbott takes him into the boards. Picked up by Nickel. Nichols tries to sweep through. Tries to get it up and is pushed all the way down. And I think that's going to be icing. Draw will come to the glove side of the Hastings goalie at 8:49. And we have a goalie switch here as Webstead's coming in and Arnold's coming out. .8:49. Nickel on the draw, gets it over to Brandt. Brandt tries to get it, gets it deep. Hines does a pirouette, falls down. Comes back out. Hastings is going to race for it. It's going to roll all the way down. They're going to be the first one there. Try to center it up front. Driven into the net, and they're going to wave that off. They're not going to wave that off? He's pointing at the, he pointed as it was a goal, but the net was way off. And they're calling it a goal. I don't know how that's going to be a goal. Hello? Okay, the volume just went out? Okay. All right, I'll let Greg know. Can you call me back if you can't hear it? We'll have him check it. Testing to see if the volume's working again. I guess we lost the volume there for a little bit. So we're back. Volume should be back on after checking. It's a little bit of discussion with the officials. I don't know whatever, but I saw Webstead, he went into the net. The net was way off. Little battle. The puck did go in the net, but the net was already back after a second or so. As the officials talk. And they're trying to straighten out. I don't know if there's penalties or not penalties. We'll just wait and see at this point. As Abin was in on the scrum, Brandt was in on the scrum, Heinz was in on the scrum. Yeah, it looks like Thorpe is going to the box. And Hastings does a goalie switch as well. So after all the discussion, they're giving Hastings the goal. No, I don't know what they're doing. I believe they're giving Hastings the goal. We are getting a penalty for conduct afterwards. It'll be a 5-on-4 at 8:28 of the second period. The goal is good by Hastings, and Stormhawks still lead 2-1 with the penalty on the board is 2 minutes. Don't know what it's for, probably for roughing. But Hastings, in other words, has the power play advantage for the next 2 minutes. Picked up by Kleva. Chipped on the boards, high stick by Hastings. And it should be all the way down into the Hastings zone. .8:14. Face off to the glove side of the Hastings goalie. Kleva on the draw, loses it. Hastings gets it behind their net, goes side to side over to their wing. Chipped up the boards, gloved by Lindell, dropped down and knocked back in by Nutter. Nutter chases, ooh, almost a mistake by the Hastings defense, as Nutter just about picked it. Hastings skates it up, he goes wide. He's able to beat enough to get down low. Around the perimeter he goes back down low. Centers it out front, puck is there. Backhanded wide to Webstead. Down low, the net's off. And Webstead was trying to fix it while the play was still going on. .734, minute 7 left on the power play opportunity for the Raiders. Rotunda on the draw, loses it, back to the point. Hastings takes a shot. This goes wide of the net. Might have been tipped wide. Played along the wing, over to the other wing. High to the slot, to the point. Chipped away by McNabb. McNabb's able to clear the zone with a good stick. Rotunda chases, puts a little pressure on Hastings. Hastings dumps it the other way. They get it to their center of their wing. He brings it into the zone. He's going to go low. Ridden away by Dreyer. And picked up in the corner. Down low they go. Hastings has it behind the net. He looks. He's skating around the perimeter. Goes high to the slot. To the defenseman. Takes a shot. Goes wide. Hastings still controls. Skating around the perimeter. Back to the point, over by the bench side. Takes a shot right on Webstead. And that's 7 seconds left in the power play opportunity for the Stormhawks. .634 of the second period remains. Draws one by Rotunda down deep, but it's centered right out in front by Hastings. Olin Van gets it. He was looking good. I think he had the right idea as they were looking for him coming out of the box, but just didn't connect. Face off to the blocker side of Webstead. Rotunda on the draw. Puck is controlled and by the Stormhawks. Stormhawks get it out of the zone. Rotunda's going to chip it up. He's going to come in on the side, takes a shot off the side of the net. Blake Van has it down low. He steps out front. Backhand right there in front of the goalie. And Hastings able to get it out of the zone. Comes down on Zaltinger. He's a big guy. He just kind of rides him away, gets a shot, and pushes it into Webstead, who freezes it up. $12 shots to 7 in favor of Hastings at 5:54 of the second period. Rotunda on the draw, wins it low, picked up by Zaltinger, who changes directions. Skates out in front. Actually, that might be Thorpe. Sorry, that was Thorpe. Tries to get it through. Rotunda pushes it in, banked out the boards. Hastings comes back, gets it to the center. They got a 3-on-2. They lose it. Thorpe's going to pick it back up. He's going to skate it up, and he's going to dump it in low as they chase. Hastings tries to come back out. Contact is made with Nickel. Comes through to break, banks it off the boards, tries to get it up to Blake Van, who loses it. And to break comes down into the Stormhawk zone, grabs it, stops behind the net, goes to the other defense, or gets it up to Olin Van. Olin Van tries to get it to Nickel. As Hastings comes through, they lose it. And then Hastings comes on a 2-on-1. Shoots wide of the net. It's going to be picked up by Brandt. Brant's going to go wide. He's fighting through, run through. And Hastings pushes back up, and it looked like that guy was offsides. Hastings goes side to side. Can't get it. Back to the point it goes. They're going to lose the zone. Hastings comes through. Lindell tried to line him up and totally lost it, and it's off the netting. Face-off will be to the glove side of Webstead inside the zone at 4:19. Nickel on the draw, wins the draw, kicks it low. Lindell gets it. He's tied up by a Hastings player. Off the boards, up to the point it goes. Shot wide of Webstead. Stayed in at the point. Lindell is going to pick it up. They hit the Hastings in the slot. Takes a shot wide. Lindell is there. He's going to try and chip it out. Brant's going to get it. He's going to get it up to Hines. He's got Brant with him. Takes it, and Hines flips it over to Brant. And that was based on speed of Hines and Brant, really. They got caught at the point a little bit, and both of them could have picked it up. Hines got it, pulled the goalie over to his blocker side, and slid it across to Brant. Brant went upstairs. That puts the Stormhawks ahead 3-1 at 3:46. Shot still in favor of Hastings at this point. 12-8. Draw is gathered by Hastings, but McNabb somehow comes out of there and pushes it deep. Behind the net it goes. Hastings shoots it off the glass. Zeltinger's there. Boy, the puck's just sitting there. No, everyone's over skating it. Down low it goes. Number 24, he's a beast for Hastings. He looks like a big linebacker or DN. So up to the boards, Nutter's got it. He's going to hit McNabb on this side. As McNabb goes down, kind of loses it, pushes it down deep. Down low, it takes that funny bounce off the corner. It came right back to McNabb. Kleva is there, and Hastings is going to break it out. They're looking for the high slot, and he flips it off the referee and into the bench of the Stormhawks at 2:55. Inside the zone it'll go. Shot from the Hastings zone. Face-off will be to the blocker side of the Hastings goalie. Kleva on the draw. Gathered by Hastings, run around the boards. Picked up by their wing. He's going to skate it up. Nutter, nice job, Nutter, taking the body even after it was quickly gone. McNabb gets it up to Kleva. Nutter was up ahead. Couldn't quite get him. Kleva comes in from the side. He goes deep. Still got control, looking for McNabb. Over to Nutter. Oh, Nutter just can't get a thing on. Nutter gets dumped. His stick was in between his legs, and they didn't call that one. It was totally incidental, but he still dumped him. Down low in the Stormhawk zone. Thorpe has it. Does a little spinny, loses it, and it's going to be pushed behind Webstead, behind the net, where it's picked up by Nutter. Nutter to McNabb. McNabb is going to dump it down deep, and they're going to wave off icing. Didn't quite make it. He's got the touch. Over to the wing, out of the zone, and the Stormhawks have got to regroup, where TeBrake flips it into the zone and allows Blake Van to chase. Blake Van gets there, able to pick it back to the point to Lindell. Lindell tries a shot, can't get it. Hastings has got an opportunity. They got their speedster up ahead. Lindell's chasing him. Gonna have to ride him down into the zone, tries to cross it, unsuccessful. Picked up by Owen Van, who gets it to his brother. He tried to get it to Rotunda, got caught in the skates, and they regroup at center ice, the Stormhawks. Back to TeBrake. TeBrake has it. He's going to skate it up. He tries to dump it in deep, which is chipped off a stick. And 1:10 remaining in the second period. It's 3-1. Hastings tries to clear it. kept in at the point by Lindell and shot on net where it's frozen by the Hastings goalie. .103 remaining in the second period. Heinz, Brandt, Nickel out there along with Dreyer and Lindell. Draw is pushed to the side, gathered by Hastings. Chipped along, back out into the neutral zone. Heinz is going to lose it. Brandt's there. Pushed to the boards, and it's going to be flipped into the Hastings bench. And it should be a face-off inside the Stormhawks zone to the glove side of Webstead. 48.9 seconds remaining. Stormhawks change up their D. Finish out this period. Nickel on the draw. Wins the draw, down low. Into the corner it goes. Nickel has got it. He's got Heinz and Brandt. Heinz kicks it in. Brandt's going to chase. It's going to come up, out. Brandt's going to ride it down low. Tries to push it away. Hastings regathers, changes direction. Chips it out into the neutral zone where it's picked up by number 24 of Hastings. Picked up by Brandt. Brandt's going to skate in. It's a 3-on-3. Brandt chips it up. Tried to get it to Nickel. Got there. Brandt pushes it in, and it's up into the rafters, and that one's going to stay. Never came down. I've seen it all. So it'd be inside the zone. We'll see if halftime Greg can get that one down. 13.8 seconds. Draw inside the Hastings zone, glove side. Nichols bats it forward. Controlled by Hastings, they ring it. It's going to be pushed out, center ice, to breaks alone. Gets it. Thorpe's going to dump it in. It's going to be offside with 3.7 seconds left. Face off near the Stormhawks bench. Shot still in favor of Hastings, 12-9 at this point. 3-second draw. See what Nichols does. Nichols draws it back, and that's going to end the period. So after 2, it's the Stormhawks 3, the Raiders 1. We'll be back after this. To the third period, Stormhawks are ahead 3-1. 15 minutes on the clock. Shots still in favor of Hastings. Draw is won by the Stormhawks. Hits Rotunda in the center. He tries to stick Daniel through. He did a pretty good job. Couldn't get by that last guy. And number 24 comes through for Hastings. Oh, and he totally loses an edge, and down he goes like a big building. Picked up by Rotunda, around the net, to Break. Break's going to get to Owen Van. Owen Van takes a hit, and Hastings is going to the box, but it looked like a pretty good hit to me. Van, it was kind of behind, his head was a little bit down. He popped right back up afterwards, but they're going to give Hastings a penalty for something. Not quite sure. 2-minute power play for the Stormhawks. Draw in the Hastings zone. Glove side. Draw is won by Clava. Back to the point. Over to Avon. Avon on the side along with Clava with Zeltinger up high. Zeltinger over to Clava on the bench side. Down low to Nutter. Back to Clava. Clava can't handle it. And it's going to sneak out of the zone. Picked up by Zeltinger. And they're going to have to regroup. Oh, another pass just off. McNabb's going to at least get it. Gets it to Nutter. Oh, they're not, they're double thinking their passing. Nutter's going to bring it in low. Hopefully he can get this set up. Ridden off by a Hastings defenseman, but picked up by McNabb. Out to Avon up the side. Zeltinger at the top. Back to Avon. Avon going to try and go across. Gets a chip. Clava puts it high above the net on a quick snapshot. Zeltinger to Avon. Avon has it. Oh! Nice little 1-2. Avon got a good shot, but the goalie made a nice save, and it's going to be icing. And it's not going to be icing. And I don't know why they wouldn't have. Why would it have not been icing? Why would you wave it off? These officials need to go back to official camp. They're going to put it at center ice. Should have been icing. It was rolling. There's no way he was going to catch it. Nickel out there along with Heinz Brandt. Dreyer draws one by Lindell over to Dreyer. Dreyer gets it up to Brandt. Brandt's going to go wide. He's going to set up on the side over to Lindell. Lindell does a little toe right, walks across, tipped by Heinz, just wide. Gets it to Brandt on the side. Dreyer's up high. Dreyer has it. Takes a shot off the stick. Lindell's going to get it. He's going to go down low to Nickel. Nickel over to Lindell. Lindell up to Dreyer. Dreyer's going to go to Brandt. Brandt goes across to Lindell. Takes a shot right there. Heinz is there to clean up. And the goalie freezes it. And 15 seconds remain on the power play opportunity. So it'd be a face-off to the blocker side in the Hastings zone. Draw is kicked to the corner by Hastings down low. Heinz is going to be there. They're going to ring it. And that should be icing. Hey, we got one right. 8 seconds remaining. Hastings was going for the wraparound play to see if they could spring their winger just a little bit too hard, or it missed the winger couldn't get to the boards quick enough. Nickel on the draw. He takes it forward. It's run around again. Lindell's going to have to try and hurry. Couldn't quite keep it in. At the blue line they go. It's a battle. Lindell's going to get it. Get it up to Brandt. Brandt's going to come through. Side steps twice. Tries to go down. Rides through. Net is off the bearings. As Brandt was a 1-on-3 with 0 success. 12:20 of the third. I wonder if they're going in, if they're talking, because he had a trailer in someone, but if they're not vocal about it, they're not going to hear it. Face off one by Hastings, pushed around the net, and they ring it out. It chips off. They come through. They got a 2-on-1 on to break. He takes a shot high above the net. Quick shot, but real high. And it's going to come out. Lake Van's going to get it. Rotunda's there. Olin Van tries to take him out. Hey, good contact. That's what we're looking for. Puck is skipped high in the air. Van tries to get it. Rotunda is behind him. He's able to play it up, but he has to push it where Hastings regroups. Comes down on Thorpe, behind the net of Webstead. Picked up by Thorpe. Hastings goes for a change. Gets it over to Van. Van's going to dump it down low. Olin Van's going to get there first. Behind the net of the Hastings goalie. Trying to get it out. Rotunda gives a little bump. And back to the neutral zone it goes, where to break plays it off the boards. It's a 2-on-2 scrum. To breaks in there. Also Rotunda gets a little bit. Gets back to Thorpe, where he regroups in the Stormhawk zone. Crosses Zeltinger. Back to Thorpe. Back to Zeltinger. He's got Van on both sides. And they lose it. Hastings comes in 2-on-1. Oh, that one had side pipe written all over it. Nice save by Webstead. Get his blocker on there and deflect it into the corner. Shot on Webstead. Rebounds out front. Gathered by Zeltinger. Zeltinger to Van. Van goes far side to his brother, who beats the defender, ridden off. Into the corner, Rotunda's there. He gets a little body contact as well. Tries to get it to the center. This is a race. They got their little speedster, but he's not very big. He comes out of the corner with it off the side of the net pipe. Down low. He centers it right out front. And the guy in the slot was wide open, takes a shot, and Webstead seals it up and gets a face-off inside the zone. 10:07 remaining of the third. Shots 15-12 in favor of Hastings. Face off to the blocker side of Webstead. Draw is won by Clava down low, picked up by Zeltinger, who rings it. Nutter's going to get it. Nutter gets checked off of it. Picked up by Hastings, and they center it right out front. Goes through. It's all the way over to McNabb. McNabb's going to skate it up. He's going to dump it in deep. Clava's chasing along with McNabb. McNabb does some body contact, gets it up to Abbott at the point. Abbott takes a shot wide. Picked up by Nutter. Nutter rings it again. Abbott's going to go down and pinch. And Abbott takes him out. Big guy on big guy, and they're going to call a penalty on Abbott for, I believe, an elbowing. No, they're going to call icing. No penalty there. Allowing big guy to go against big guy. I didn't think his elbows were up, but it's just an icing at this point. Clava on the draw, goes forward with it. Ooh, he gets away with a little bit of a slash there. Nutter has it down low, changes directions, going to go high to the point. Kept in, and Hastings comes out. They're going to get their big guy one-on-one. And I think he got a little bit of cold feet there. So Abbott was coming at him, and he actually had a step, but he wasn't going too quick. 9-11 in the third. 3-1 in favor of the Stormhawks, 16-12 shots in favor of the Raiders. Nickel on the draw, wins the draw down low, gets it to Lindell, who reverses direction. He's going to get it to Dreyer. Dreyer's going to get it up to Brandt, who tips it and goes to Hastings, who regroups in the center of the zone. Ball goes in, or the ball goes in, the puck goes in, regathered in the neutral zone. Nickel is there along with Hines. Down low it goes, behind the net of the Hastings goalie. Kicked out to the point, and it's going to push over to the defender where Lindell is there. Hastings beats him to the corner. They center it out front, off the skate of Brandt. Hastings takes a shot wide of the net. It's going to go far side, where Hastings defender is going to be able to get it first. It's going to be way off sides, and Dreyer just shoots it in to get a face-off, which will be at outside the Stormhawks zone at 8:19. I don't understand. They move it back down into the Stormhawk zone at 8:19. To the point it goes. Hastings on the side. Van gets it, pushes it out. Hastings is going to regroup with their defenders. He skates into the zone behind his own net, where he dumps it to his other defensive partner. Up high, Thorpe keeps it in with his glove, gets it to Van. Blake Van is there. Toe drags it out, tries to go. Oh, he was looking for it to break. Good opportunity, but the Hastings defender or wing got a stick on it, or a skate. Behind the net it goes with the Stormhawks. They go far side, behind, can't hit tape, and dumped back in by Hastings, where it's going to be picked up by Thorpe. Thorpe's going to skate it up. He avoids a contact, kind of lost the edge, pushes it in, and Van's going to chase. Blake Van is there along with Rotunda. To break pinches, keeps it in the zone. Olin Van is there as they get it to their wing. 7:10 going, that's a 1-on-2. Hastings comes into the zone, shot, steered clear by Webstead. Back out to the point. Shot, tip, puck is loose right out front. Pushed away, Avon pushed the guy out of the way. Puck is just loose, a little sloppy here. Zeltinger hopefully can get it. He rings it around. Van's going to pick it up on the board. But able to hold it in the zone is Hastings. Contact along the board. Van gets it, and he's just going to ice it down, and they're going to get a whistle. 6:30 remaining in the third period. Stormhawks ahead 3-1. Shots in favor of the Raiders, 18-12. Slava on the draw, along with McNabb and Nutter at his side. Hastings controls. Boy, they fed it to the slot, unable to get a stick on it. Nutter's able to clear the zone, and it should be offsides. And they'll redo it, the face-off outside the Stormhawk zone at 6:18. Face-off is controlled by the Stormhawks. It goes into their zone. Evans there in the corner. He's going to change directions as Zeltinger. He's going to try and hit the home run pass, and it went through both Kleva and Nutter. And they'll redo the draw in the Stormhawk zone at 6:06. Kleva on the draw again. Kicks the Hastings center out of the ring. Puck is controlled by Hastings. Oh, off the skate, comes right out front to the glove side of Webstead. Nutter's able to get it. Oh, he sent it. He goes cross ice, tried to center it, intercepted by Hastings. Now there's a battle in the corner between Zeltinger, McNabb's over there, Nutter's Kleva's over there. Kleva comes out of there. He's got Nutter on the far side. Nutter's going to try and go wide. He's going to try and center it back to Kleva. Takes a shot, just goes wide of the net. I don't know how Nutter got it back over to Kleva. The guy was hanging on him. Hastings picks it up, tries to push it out of the zone. Pushed along the boards, held in by Lindell. Hastings tries to clear. McNabb is there. And he comes through. And Hastings tries to break it out with their wing. And they're going to knock it down the ice. And that one is going to be played. They got Hines up there. Oh, he was a little slow on it. And it gets chipped out of the into the stands. So it'll be at center ice. Just a little slow on the reaction time. 5:02 remaining on the clock. Nickel out there, Hines and Brandt. Won by Nickel, back to Lindell. Lindell over to Dreyer. Dreyer's going to get it up to Hines. Tipped into the zone. Hines is going to chase behind the net. Pushed along the boards, held in by Dreyer to Nickel. Nickel's going to get it. Brandt's going to get it there. There's going to be a battle along the boards. Hastings comes out of there. Dreyer drives him into the boards. Nice job by him. Over to Lindell. Lindell gets dropped. Now it's getting real physical. Nichols is coming down. He's got a 1-on-2 with two Stormhawks following. He's taken down to the side. No penalty there. Grant's going to have it behind the net. He tried to do a little bit of a Michigan, I think, or it just popped up. And Grant's, out of all the physical play that just happened, Grant's going to the box for a hook. At 4:11 of the third period. Yeah, the time is going to probably end here, and that's going to be the game. So the game ends with 4:11 down the board, but they run out of time. The score is 3-1 in favor of the Stormhawks. Shots 18-12 in favor of Hastings, and we'll be back later on this week.